everyone. This is Kripa Anand, and welcome to She and Success podcast, a national platform spotlighting powerful women who are shaping the future of business, leadership, and impact across Canada. Here we bring you real stories, bold journeys, and conversations that inspire growth, visibility, and success. Today, we are breaking down the intersection of international cultural rights, institutional educational policy, and decentralized IP protection for marginalized female creators. In 2026, building an equitable global economy demands moving past basic diversity platitudes to install rigorous academic mentorship pipelines, transparent intellectual property frameworks, and cross border platforms that convert heritage preservation into sustainable economic autonomy. Joining us today is Dr. Shahida Khanom, the founder and executive director of Women Cultural Empowerment International, that is WCEI. Dr. Khanum is an internationally acclaimed cultural specialist, heritage scientist, and social change maker. Holding a PhD in tourism, culture, and heritage from Griffith University, her distinguished 15-year career includes managing World Heritage Sites for UNESCO, directing biodiversity and sustainable tourism strategies across the Fundy Biosphere region, and advising global ecological networks via the IUCN. Today, her Halifax based nonprofit connects local grassroots voices directly with the United Nations. So, before further ado, let's welcome this very special guest. Dr. Khanum, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Kripa, for your introduction. I'm very fine and delighted to have some time with you, so that you can visualize the concept of my project in
Mhm.
relation to women and cultural empowerment.
That's amazing. Now, Dr. Shahida, many developing academic institutions, they find themselves severely locked out of top tier research global networks, right? Creating a massive knowledge disparity. So let's start the conversation by understanding why do universities in developing regions struggle to access top research and enforce freedom of expression and gender equality? What are your views on that?
This is the most important questions ideally want to be asked from the people. I want to start with Bangladesh. Bangladesh has a education system with no excess of journal. I mean, validated scientific journal.
Hmm.
So they have money to engage in other places like bridges, culvert, road, but they don't have access journal in education. So we are producing a people without research knowledge, just memorizing the theory, concept, formula, and it doesn't relate to local empowerment. Okay, every time you need an engineer, you go to Canada, you go to Australia, you go to China, but every time this sort of engineer is highly paid, which we cannot carry because any infrastructure or any development they need continuous monitoring. Okay, so my fighting is asking why we don't have journal article in our education system, and why it's not cleared as a human right for knowledge sharing. This is my messaging to the developing countries.
Definitely, that's a very interesting perspective right there. Building on what you've said, Dr. Shahida, from the extensive experience that you have and the extensive background that you come from, why do you think there is no system protecting native women farmers' intellectual property? And how do you think an international platform can, fix this?
Actually, this copyright of native uh, farmers, I came to know when I started to work with UNESCO. So many project I'm dealing, donor project, uh, the native people doesn't have any authority or copyright. UNESCO is giving everything to the government, member state, okay? And there is another sort of NGO. You know that big NGO, middle NGO, native NGO, they are taking all the creative products from the native artisan farmers, and they sealed it in their name and selling it in the international and international market, okay, without acknowledging any copyright.
Right.
For example, one claimed tea mug will be maybe maximum below $1 in local market. The same one in its international about $50. So it's the same. I mean, those figures I worked with as the international national expert. They are taking UNESCO brand
Mm-hmm.
and they are making business with the native craftsmen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So many initiatives I tried to go to the native people, but I hardly could manage.
No, definitely that's your, you're sharing your perspective, you're sharing your journey, and you're being so upfront about it. So thank you so much for, shedding light on that, Dr. Shahida. Building on what you've said, towards a little more positive note, I'd like to give a special message to all of our listeners now, specifically to all the CSR directors, academic institutional leads, and international development partners who are listening and watching. In 2026, ignoring the economic and cultural exclusion of newcomer and diverse women, it's a severe waste of global human capital. Dr. Khanum and her specialized policy advisors at Women Cultural Empowerment International are entirely restructuring the integration ecosystem. Recently accepted into the Halifax Chamber of Commerce and nominated for both the Global Impact and Mentorship Awards at the Women Empowerment Awards, WCE bridges the gap between local grassroots talent and international policy platforms. Their targeted capacity building programs, intercultural dialogue systems, and upcoming featured presentations at the United Nations Human Rights Program empower diverse women to scale independent enterprises while safely preserving their identities. If your organization is ready to move past superficial compliance and co invest in high impact mentorship networks that unlock global markets for diverse professionals, visit WCEIA.org. That is WCEIA.org today to form a strategic alliance. Elevate your social impact alongside a verified international change maker. Now, coming back to you, Dr. Shahida, let's now look at addressing newcomer adaptation and invisible talent gaps, that ensure immigrant women's skills are recognized and also leveraged. So the question to you is, how can local professional networks design better mentorship spaces so that skilled newcomer women, they don't feel invisible in the job market? So what's your solution for that?
Actually, this is a very good question because I'm a immigrant too.
Yeah.
So I have my own organization, and I am also working with Immigration Service Association of Nova Scotia,
Hmm.
and I'm also working with Halifax Chamber of Commerce. Okay,
Right.
so I cannot give you the whole project destination and the time, but I can just give you a couple of steps. First steps, academic mentoring. Okay, so many academics in Canada, okay, they can register in our mentor profile, and they will be paid by Bangladeshi student to help navigating scholarship, research, proposal, journal article, everything. I want to start from here, and the next step, grassroots women. Okay, my thinking about grassroots women, about I want to tag them in the digital marketing platform.
Hmm.
Why? Because the pumpkin is maybe 15 cent in Bangladesh. The pumpkin Walmart Halifax is maybe $10 to $12. Okay, so Whenever I will start with digital marketing, I will make sure that Canadian women who are in food security, they will get the food at a compensation discount. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is cultural exchange. Okay, and by this doing so, these women could do contribute in many parts of our project, which I still not detail. I just make an outline. If you see that I put a table in the digital marketing
Right.
section, so there is a section is revival of hospitality. Okay, so this is my first target. I mean, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's saying that maybe developing countries are poor, but not poor really. They are selling a pumpkin at maybe 10 cent, and you are taking Walmart at $12.
Right,
So
right,
there
right.
is a middleman in behind. Neither we are poor, neither they are
Rich.
in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
problem. The problem is the middleman. And if you really want to project my interview, or you should give this message that this is the most burning agenda, where the politician, policymaker, or education people, they are not looking clearly how this value change this system from 10 cent to $15.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. That's a very interesting perspective right there. Very insightful for our audience as well. So once again, thank you so much for that. I'd like you to share with our listeners that who have been your key mentors or your role models in this journey, because as you said, you're an immigrant women entrepreneur who is doing her own things here in Canada. So what's your story like? Like, did you look up to someone growing up that maybe wanted to be like them, or where did this start from? So go ahead and tell your story in short.
Yeah, actually, Kripa, you will be really upset to know my story, because my dad was the dream maker for my life, but he died at when I'm only 13 years old in
Oh, I'm so
grade
sorry.
8. And then my challenges of life start from there. So my dad was a high rank police officer, and he was a freedom fighter. So as soon as I dad died, I lost the navigation. So then I started to read my father's diary, and I mean I had to read 5 times more than the I mean my school curricula.
Right.
So to navigate me, because that time no internet, no Google, no mobile. So by doing so, I came to university, Khulna University, and one of my teacher, my guru, Professor Dilip Kumar Datta, I met him, and he get something different with me,
Mm-hmm.
because I cannot demonstrate the education curricula like other people do, because I'm not good at memorizing, and I cannot memorizing anything like formula, like definition.
Right,
That is the very South Asian custom of education.
right,
And I keep question, why are you bounding to memorize me?
right,
And certainly you know that teachers, mentors are not comfortable with this sort of question
right,
and clarification. But however, Professor Dotto, he get me this so many something thinking different. Okay, so from that really he picked me up, and
mm-hmm.
he guided me everywhere, from to take a woman from a native society, Bangladeshi society, to global platform. And he give me such a support which I don't get from anyone. You would be astonished to know that every time I'm going somewhere, they're saying I'm a mad, useless, garbage. To go to friends, the same thing nothing. I'm idiot. To go to
Okay.
family,
Oh my
community,
God.
same thing is I'm a garbage. And to go to my husband family is the same thing. I'm three times garbage. So slowly, I was isolating myself, and I at the end of the day I got bipolar during my PhD. Also, I want to name another guru, Professor Malama Melisia, to whom I met in UNESCO, Dhaka. He was the director that time, and I was when I entered UNESCO after 2 months of joining. I conceived my daughter, and after conceiving I got, conception is very sick issue. So while I got conceived, my other colleagues are trying very hard to so that I leave the job. It is the office politics, okay? But Professor Melissa helped me against all of the office colleagues, and she really took care of me since I'm a new
Hmm.
mother. And he keep focusing on me. You should go to PhD. You
Right.
shouldn't be in UNESCO.
Right.
UNESCO is a clerical job.
Yes.
It's not a research job, okay?
Right.
So, and my colleagues are humiliating me so much, and in the
Hmm.
UN system you cannot say something directly, okay?
Right.
They have always a diplomatic pressure. So Professor Melissa keep pushing me, persevering, just move forward.
Yes.
And before he leaves Bangladesh, he said that I never meet any woman unconventional like you, an exotic intellectual like you. Please keep moving.
Hmm.
He said, do PhD. Don't waste time here.
Right.
So I keep persevering with him and Professor Dotto, and I apply for Griffith University. And these two, my two gurus, give me recommendations, and I got the PhD scholarship. So I can say, if anyone asks me who contributed you mostly in my life, I would bold to say my two gurus, Professor Melissa and Professor Dotto. I
Hmm.
don't encounter my family very much.
All right. Thank you so much, firstly, for sharing that story with me and our audience. I think from where it started, it was definitely a very, sad beginning, I'll say, because once you lose someone, specifically one of your parents, nothing can, even come close to replacing that sort of a loss. So, great that you've been so strong throughout, and so much more power to you, Dr. Shahida. But what you've taken from that, and where you are right now, kudos to everything that you have achieved. I'm loving this conversation, and definitely we'd love to maybe do a series with you, or maybe have you in person in our Toronto studio. But for now, before we let you go, if there's one word that you'd like to say to all the other women leaders who are listening to you right now, who are looking to you with that hope of inspiration, if you could use one word that they should take it home with them, what is that one word?
Cultural empowerment.
Wow, very strategic as well. That is amazing, Dr. Shahida. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation today. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you, Kripa. I want to continue a collaboration with your organization, because you're doing a fantastic job. You publishing on women entrepreneurs. That's good. That focus economic empowerment, business. But in addition to your concept, we drive other three dimension: political, social, psychological. Okay,
Mhm.
so at this beginning, maybe it is not for your organization to convince to move or
Mhm.
to transfer the concept, but I want to work closely with you, whatever the way you want, go within my protocol. Then I think then you can achieve more diverse sort of empowerment that will visible your organization much better in a holistic way.
That's very sweet of you, Dr. Shahida. Thank you so very much. All right, so that was Dr. Shahida from Women Cultural Empowerment International, a masterclass in correcting global copyright gaps for native producers, leveraging academic mentorship to drive curriculum equity, and understanding how WCEI is connecting the local Canadian communities to United Nations global platforms in 2026. So, to all the listeners, thank you so much for listening to She and Success. To learn more about how we are supporting the women entrepreneurs beyond the platform, please visit the She and Success Foundation at sheandsuccessfoundation.ca. A very special thank you to our exclusive shipping partner, Purolator, for their ongoing commitment to supporting women entrepreneurs and helping them build, grow, and lead successful businesses across Canada. I'll see you all in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.